Hello. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. I feel completely exhausted. We survived our first week back, and I don't even have little ones. Y'all, for all of y'all that are doing remote learning, hats off to you, hats off to teachers, and my word, hats off to the IT department because I have certainly had to be dealing with the IT department, but I have three pretty independent kiddos. I It's been a long week, and we're all really excited that it's over. So I hope everybody enjoys this great weekend. I thought I would come on here real quick, and I get so many questions that I love, and I don't want to be too repetitive, but some things bear repeating, especially if people are just now tuning in to the CBD world. But I wanted to go back to the very basic question is why would I use CBD? What would you use CBD for? And that's an excellent question because not only do I believe that, or study supports that you need to be using CBD to help with issues, but there's also so many studies and literature to support you want to be using CBD on a daily basis, like a vitamin. You want to have it in your body just for that constant anti-inflammatory effect, to open up those receptors that are naturally in our bodies, that are naturally used to getting a compound similar to CBD, that keeps our body in homeostasis. So instead of just saying you need it for everything, trust me, I came up with a list that is pretty thorough, of all the things that you would want to use CBD for. Not conclusive. I'm sure there's so many other things, but I just wanted to hit this list really fast. So if it relates to you, if you think about your family or your friend that might benefit, I think it's pretty interesting. So I'm going over, I have this big color wheel that I love, and I can't find it. And then also I have this little thing that has a list of why you would use CBD. And what I've said before, we cannot use diagnostic terms, so we can't use terms that indicate healing because of the compliance. So it's going to be like, what was that old show? I think it was called Password, maybe. It's where they sat in a chair face to each other and you had to describe the word that you were trying to get them to think of. So I'm going to try to do a good job at Password. But first and foremost, the biggest reason that I would take CBD is for the anti-inflammatory effects. We know, it is common knowledge in the MD world, that inflammation is the root of all disease. And if we can keep inflammation at bay, then we can hopefully slow or even prevent the disease process. So inflammation. What is inflammation? Inflammation is any word that ends in itis. So that could be, well, I can't say all those names, but think of every word in our bodies that is itis. That is inflammation. So if you can take away the itis, you take away the inflammation, and you can slow or prevent disease progression. So think about itis in the lungs. You can think about it in the skin. That's when we have breakouts or skin infections or issues in our arteries and our GI tract. My own personal diagnosis is inflammatory bowel disease. Acute injuries, when all of a sudden you break something or you twist something and it blows up, that's inflammation. Inflammation in your joints, inflammation in our muscles, inflammation behind your eyes. That's very common as we age. It really helps with anything inflammatory in our bodies. So number 2, it's anti-carcinogenic. That's a big one. It's neuroprotective. And what neuroprotective means is that it protects nerve cells against damage, degeneration, which means breaking down or losing the quality of that nerve cell, or impairment of function. So when you think about anything in the brain or spinal cord, of course, that's the primary hub for our neural system. There's a whole gamut of neurological disorders related to protecting those nerve cells. So when the nerve cells start to break down, we start getting a whole list of either hereditary issues that we're born with, or things that happen over time for reasons that we don't know. Look it up or reach out to me. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to be more specific. It's anti-seizure, anti-convulsive. It's antifungal. So anything related to a fungus, say on your toe, you get a toenail fungus, or a fungal infection in your body. It reduces blood sugar levels. So people who have a hard time with blood sugar issues or disease, keep in mind, it's that homeostasis. It brings everything back to balance. So if your blood sugars are out of whack, it brings them back. And it also serves to repair damaged cells. And I've gone through this before when I went into way detail on what essential oils do and why they're smart, because they're carbon made by God. Essential oils are smart. They know how to go in and fix what needs to be fixed. So in the situation where there might be cells that are damaged in your pancreas, it's CBD is an essential oil, and so it knows how to go in and fix the cells that need to be fixed, repair them, and get rid of the bad cells. It also aids an autoimmune system by reducing the immune system. People ask me that a lot of questions. Why does it say reduce immune system function? Well, if you have an autoimmune disease like I do, it's because your autoimmune system is actually ramped up and it's fighting itself. So when you read articles that say that CBD reduces autoimmune function, it means that it's reducing that overactivity. Any autoimmune disease, once again, it's out of balance, so it brings it back into balance. There's a whole list of autoimmune diseases that you could put there. It reduces the risk of artery blockage. Many times the blockage in your arteries, we all have a little bit of blockage, but when it's inflamed, that blockage gets closer together, right? So you take that inflammation out and it allows proper flow. It reduces small intestine contractions. That would be more like a muscle contraction. I had a lot of those when I was suffering that are extremely painful. It takes those away. Reduces vomiting and nausea. It's really good for soothing the stomach and soothing nauseous issues. It reduces pressure behind the eye, which I said. It reduces fatigue and it increases energy. And one way it does that is simply by allowing you to have a fantastic night's sleep, so you're well rested and ready to go the next day. Whereas many people with sleep issues are just chronic or regularly tired morning and night because they don't get a good night's sleep. So it gets you into a good cycle of sleep and wake, which of course gives you more energy. It reduces discomfort for females with your monthly cycles. I've heard amazing things about how people who have perhaps growths or things on their uterus that it really helps with. It's a reliever of discomfort. That's my favorite, and that's why I take the Boost Pain. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know where I'm showing. The Boost Pain has changed my life. I take this not on a regular basis. I take it when I need it, and within 10 or 15 minutes, all gone. So if you want to reach for a pill for an anti-inflammatory instead of a pill, this is safe for your body, and you reach for this, put it under your tongue. This is no CBD, no THC. It's just extra cannabinoids that help with pain. It also relieves anxious feelings, emotional swings, and stress. See stories about my husband, and many diagnoses that go along with that. The emotional swings, the stress, the anxious feelings, the traumatic feelings, things like that. It brings you back into homeostasis. Slows bacterial growth. It suppresses muscle spasms. So I actually have a few friends that have twitches or muscle twitches and things like that, and it suppresses those. It also promotes sleep, which we mentioned. Another word that's for autoimmune. Imagine all autoimmune, even autoimmune diseases that affect your skin, that affect your stomach, that affect your thyroid, everything autoimmune. It promotes bone growth. This is huge and fantastic. So should you take a density type test for your bones, this serves to help increase the density of your bones. It also stimulates an appetite, but it can also aid in appetite reduction. Your body knows what it needs, and CBD comes in and it determines what you need, if it needs to be stimulated or if it needs to be reduced. It promotes focus. being able to focus on something. So in the long run, basically everyone needs CBD. And I know that that's kind of boring to hear about it, but sometimes everybody just needs to hear um, that it can help them. It really can help everybody by taking it on a daily basis and for long term. And it may be that the longer that you take it, the less that you need. So it's something that's very unique to each person, what their dose is going to be, and you have to be able to listen to your body and know if you need a little more or a little less, depending on if you're in a kind of a crisis mode. Might need to ramp it up or reduce it. So those are a few ideas for why you would need CBD. I'm sorry that we can't use diagnoses terms, but hopefully that helps you get a broader idea as to what you can use CBD for. I am exhausted from the week. I'm going to go take my CBD and curl up and watch a movie and go to bed. So I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. And for those that started school this week, you had a great ending to a great week. Hopefully, a great week. Have a good one. Bye.